Okay, hi again. We're going to talk about wells in Florida. And you're going to come across this if you have a well. If you have city water, not a problem because the city will supply the water. But if you are out in the country, more than likely you're going to have a thing that looks like that. Quite different from up north. Mostly in the north we have drilled wells that, and this is a drilled well, but you have a well that just has a 6-inch pipe coming out of the ground because all our plumbing and everything is below ground, usually about 6, maybe 10 feet deep because of the freezing. So here you have a holding tank on top of ground, and that holding tank is, I think about 100 to, I think it says on the side 120 gallons. So also 75 pounds per square inch PSI. Also you'll have a gauge here, tells you the pressure. Right now we're just a little under 60 pounds, which is what they tell you want to have. Now if that pressure was to go down while nothing's being used, you have a leak somewhere. And we had that, and I'll tell you a bit about that in a second. Now those apparently they had a problem with a wire, so they had to rewire. But coming out of the side will be some pipes, a pipe, and it goes down into the ground to the well. Down there you can see that cylindrical thing. It's the pump. Really weird. Pump is pulling the water out of the ground and putting it into the tank. Now it has a pressure switch in between on that pipe. Again, like I said, I'm not going to tear it all apart, but there's a pressure switch in between the well and the tank, and that pressure switch tells whether the tank needs water or not. If that pressure valve is damaged in some way, then you're not going to get water coming into the tank. So best thing to do if you have trouble with a well is call a guy that specializes in that. They're usually not real expensive to come out and take care of the problem. I had to have the pressure valve replaced, which is not a major issue and not a major expense, but the well wouldn't work without that pressure switch. Okay, then over on this side you got the out, the pipe coming out of the tank, and then it's buried all the way to the house. So a lot of wells are not very close to the house. A lot of wells are quite a distance away from the house, and so you're going to have pipes buried all the way to the house. Some are right in the front yard. You'll see them as you drive around, and you'll see these tanks sticking out of the ground. Quite an interesting well system. But anyway, it could be as deep as 400 feet. Some of these wells are. I think this one might be 200 or 300 feet deep. But anyway, if you have a well, you can test it. You can test the water yourself. Lowe's has a self-testing kit, and you can buy it. It's not very expensive, 20 bucks, maybe 25. And it will test your water. You take samples of your water. You follow the instructions how to take the sample, and then take that sample and some of it you have to let set for a while. Some of it gets results within a few minutes. And it'll test lead, it tests copper, it tests other minerals, also tests coliform, which is a bacteria that gets into water sometimes and is not real good. And so you can test all that, and we did, and ours came out really good. So no problems with the well water. But I'm not well versed on all the things concerning the well. So, you know, that's something you might want to educate yourself on. Some say that, you know, there you can have problems with air in the tank. I don't know. Haven't had any issues with the well at this point. And so as you go up to the house, more than likely the pipe is PVC. And I did dig some of the pipe to find, you know, which direction it was going. And it is not but maybe 12 to 16 inches down under the ground. Pipes in Florida are not buried that deep. Around the house, I had to dig up around the house because one of the pipes did break. There was freezing weather, 18 degrees, and one of the pipes broke. So I replaced the pipes with what I call, well, I don't call it, the companies call it PEX, pipe, P-E-X. And that pipe is easy to install. I bought the tool for it. I install it myself. I've done it in my house when I owned the house up north. And easy stuff to work with. It can freeze, it will expand with the frost, and it'll come right back to normal. So it doesn't break in freezing weather. So that's why I replaced it with PEX. Most of the pipes you're going to find in houses are PVC or CPVC or copper, and those pipes can have an issue with freezing. So just be aware of that. In Florida, when it gets down below 20 degrees, you're told to have the faucets running, at least dripping, so that there's movement in the water in the well. And that keeps it from freezing solid. So you can do that and probably not have any trouble at all. They told us that this was the coldest winter that they've had in many, many years, like 20 years. So just because it gets a little freezing weather doesn't mean it's going to be that way throughout. But anyway, like I said, the pipes are only like a foot deep, easy to dig because it's in sand. I mean, it was easy to replace the pipes. I did it pretty quickly, and you can do the same thing if you want, or you can call a guy and have him do it. So that's pretty much all I got on the well, and so check it out and make sure you know what you're getting into when you buy a house in Florida. All right, that's good for this one.